As you'd like to remind people verbally that
Yes.
being in the spotlight doesn't absolve you of your humanity, that you're allowed to have human moments.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily do what you want it to do, and it fuels them more.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Right. Every time that a celebrity gets like one DM that says KYS, they're like, I'm getting death threats. Someone save me, but not a prince.
I'm gonna be honest, guys, like I'm a very mentally ill piece of human right now, and so it's very hard for me to want to share that with the world.
Snow White fans are pissed off with Rachel Zegler, as she seems to have learned nothing from her mistakes last year and are calling for her to be removed from the movie. Rachel is now begging Disney to protect her. However, Disney might be completely done with Rachel after her most recent comment. Rachel Zegler has been nothing but problematic ever since she was cast as Snow White, and fans are so over her attitude regarding this woke version of the beloved classic. Rachel has even been having lots of problems with the rest of the industry after she showed her true colors in interviews, and it looks like she might be struggling to book new roles because of it. Rachel's biggest problem at the moment is the fact that she's been fired from her lined-up projects, like Paddington 3, and even her voice acting role in Apple TV's After Spellbound. This means that after Snow White, we might not see any more of Rachel, and it's all because of her own attitude and her constantly playing the victim card. Rachel's continuous disrespect to the original Snow White in interviews has simply gone too far, as fans believe she's not suited to be playing this role if she cannot understand and respect the original character. And with her multiple comments, it looks like Rachel doesn't even care to understand the original Snow White.
She's not going to be safe with the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true.
Disney has already decided to delay the movie an entire year due to these controversies, as well as the fact that Disney's creative direction regarding the Seven Dwarfs was not welcomed by fans, which meant that they had to start all over. Rachel has not been making Disney's job any easier, as she keeps doing the absolute worst PR seen by a lead actress, and fans are now calling for Rachel to be completely removed from the project because of it. All the controversy surrounding the movie because of its new woke themes that are trying to pander to modern audiences has only grown as time passes, since fans have proven over and over again that this is not what they want. Disney is not only ignoring these calls from original fans, who would be more than happy to see the original story adapted for a live action, but they have also turned a blind eye to all the negativity surrounding Rachel Zegler. Rachel has slightly changed her tactic in these past few months, as she's been less loud about her opinions. Perhaps in an attempt to save face and to try and get back into the industry's good books. However, because she's Rachel Zegler, she just can't help herself from commenting on things that don't concern her. While Rachel hasn't said anything about Snow White this time around, she did come for another Disney project after reading a tweet regarding Star Wars. The initial tweet talked about a possible What If series for Star Wars, similar to Marvel's ongoing one, which Rachel couldn't help but comment on, as she quoted it saying, "What if somehow Palpatine returned?" Now, if you're a Star Wars fan, you would know that that is indeed something that happened in the new movies, which was received horribly by fans. Star Wars fans were actually very mad to see Palpatine return, as they felt like it made no sense and added nothing to the story, as it only served to add drama and nostalgia to the series. Many people actually feel like this completely destroyed Star Wars legacy, as it felt like such a big spit in the face to the original movies. And many people agreed with Rachel's very shady remark regarding the choice. This is still one of the most unexpected decisions I've ever seen. Did you just post something based? And with that, the show was canceled. However, many also saw this comment to be incredibly hypocritical, coming from Rachel, as she tried to come for Disney when they did the exact same thing they're trying to do with Snow White. Disney making a bad choice, which in turn seems disrespectful to the original work, is the exact same thing that fans of Snow White have been complaining about for months, and the same thing that Rachel has been trying to defend. It's safe to say fans weren't happy with Rachel because of this comment. and many were open about how hypocritical it was of her to come for Disney when she's doing the exact same thing. What if you weren't cast as Snow White and we actually had a Snow White everyone loved? What if somehow you turn into a good person? What if Snow White 2025 was a love story with actual dwarves? What if you stop ruining franchises you didn't create and are not a fan of? What if you only made movies based on characters you do care about? Fans obviously had a lot on their chests seeing Rachel's comment, and some people even pointed out Disney's horrible decisions by commenting, "What if Snow White 2025 casting was right?" with a picture of Brett Cooper's upcoming Snow White. Fans are extremely set on replacing Rachel in the movie, and it looks like if that can't happen, they will simply get their Snow White fix from somewhere else. Which is why the Daily Wire's new Snow White movie starring Brett Cooper might just end up overshadowing Disney's. As Brett herself has mentioned, this movie isn't trying to be political in any way and will be true to the original story in order to honor not only the very first edition of the story, written by the Brothers Grimm, but also Walt Disney's first ever Disney princess movie, which made history. Brett has also been one of the people to really come for Rachel's attitude in the past, and it looks like she is truly doing the most as she decided to take things into her own hands. Rachel is now cornered both on the internet and in the industry, as nobody seems to be on her side, which is why she's broken down about the turn things have taken. Rachel has been open about the way she feels several times now, as everything seems to be going badly for her at the moment. In fact, she's even resorted to publicly talking about how affected she is in order to get Disney's attention and to beg them to do something about the situation. Even in her interview with Halle Bailey, who experienced a similar situation after being cast as Ariel, we got to hear how Rachel has been trying to ignore the hate by mocking the situation.
They are probably just having a really hard day.
Yes.
And I am putting out a movie.
Amen. That's right.
And I feel so thankful for those moments.
And it doesn't look like Disney has been doing anything to better her situation, even after two of their actresses sat and had a talk about it. In fact, now that Rachel has decided to come for Disney with her Star Wars comment, it's actually pretty unlikely that Disney would even want to protect her. Rachel has not only been disrespectful to fans and to the original Snow White story, which she doesn't seem to care about, but she has also directly insulted her workplace and those who have given her a chance in the industry. It's not looking good for her, and it's getting more and more to the point where Disney might actually have to replace her in the Snow White role, as her growing controversy might just end up costing them the entire movie. And if the Snow White movie ends up tanking at the box office after everything Disney did to try and save it, then Rachel might seriously end up never getting another role, as nobody would want to be associated with her. After the relative success of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, it was starting to look up for Rachel, especially since she has even gotten some nominations for the role. However, those nominations and that success will end up meaning absolutely nothing if she doesn't sort out her personality first. Fans have been dreading every single interview regarding Snow White ever since Rachel admitted that she was afraid of the movie growing up.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White's Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again.
Admitting that she was never even a fan of the original work is enough for fans to refuse to support Rachel in the role, especially since so many other talented actresses who genuinely love Snow White could have been cast. But with her constantly bashing Snow White and Disney and constantly playing the victim card, there's really nothing redeemable left. And we might just end up with this new year, might bring us a new Snow White. Disney has had plenty of opportunities to stand up for Rachel over the last half year, and their silence speaks volumes, since Rachel has been growing more and more distressed over her role, even breaking down on camera because of all the hate she's gotten.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
Disney are the ones who initially wrote the script for this movie, meaning that it's not just Rachel people are mad at, However, they seem happy to let Rachel take all of the damage, which is why fans suspect that Disney might just be close to cutting ties with her. By delaying the movie an entire year, it actually gives Disney time to refilm the entire thing and do everything right now that they have seen what fans actually want. And it might just be the reason that they haven't focused any energy on defending Rachel. At the end of the day, Rachel doesn't seem to want to learn from her mistakes either, as she keeps getting herself into all this easily avoidable trouble. And if we're being honest, it really isn't helping her case in front of Disney, especially when she comes for one of Disney's biggest franchises. Do you guys think Disney would be willing to protect Rachel? Let me know down below, and don't forget to check out this other video.